from the East African Business Council, and seated next to him is John Madenge, the Executive Director of the Federation of East African Federation Freight Forwarders Association. Many thanks, gentlemen. Let's dive right into the conversation. A week after elections, has the logistics business felt the impact of the elections? Perhaps, Madenge, we start over with you.
Thank you, Agina. I think since we had our elections in Kenya, far from what we thought, I think things are really getting better. Mm-hmm. Obviously, on or about the time of the elections, the logistics sector is very, very sensitive because of the past happenings, especially with the 2007 elections. And we saw a dive, or things went down, but we are seeing a trend where things are picking up very, very well.
What are the numbers looking like at the port of Mombasa?
We were just doing a simple check of where we are, and I could see like the normal trade, you would be moving like about 1,000 plus containers out of the port in a day. And at the time of election, that went down significantly to less than 200 or thereabout. But we have still seen that the figures have gone up to, again, up above 1,000. So we know that that's tremendous.
All right.
Yes.
And Ambassador Kilu, we have a presidential petition coming up in the Supreme Court. And of course, you cannot divorce politics and business. As the business community, what are your expectations moving forward, especially now that the NASA presidential candidate did mention he'll be going to the courts?
Well, speaking from a regional perspective, the private sector in East Africa is the economic pillar. And as East African Business Council, the feedback we are getting from the rest of the private sector, investors in the region, Kenya is going the right way. So long as we follow the law and we are compliant with the Constitution of Kenya within the framework of the law, then we'll not have an enabling environment having a problem. As you know, we operate under the private sector umbrella body, East Africa Business Council.
Correct.
Which is formed within the Treaty of the EAC and Article 5 to 7 as people-centered and business-driven, private sector-driven. And within that framework, it says the role of private sector is generate wealth of the partner states of East Africa, and therefore, from what we are hearing from the CEO of Freight Forwarders, that there is no issue as such. There was a little bit of a setback before, but that is now in the past.
So are you saying the new development around the petition?
Yes, because that's a legal process.
Sure. So does it create another dark cloud of uncertainty now?
It wouldn't, because the law has its own process and is recognized within the regulations that govern the state.
All right.
Yeah. Therefore, which, you know, in any issue, all over the world, we always have these sort of situations. But so long as you are compliant with the constitution of your state, then follow the law.
All right. And Madenge, just data coming through from the port of Mombasa shows that a number of vessels have been queuing and waiting to offload. Is this a sign that the business confidence is regaining?
Yes, you can say that, but in the little sense, there wasn't any loss of confidence in the way we do business in this region.
All right.
Logistics, or if you want to talk about import and export business, is very sensitive to issues of safety, security, issues to do with unrest. Because it's a whole chain of how you move goods from origin to the final destination.
All right.
And you have to plan in advance. Because the consumers at the other end, or the buyers and the sellers, have planned how they want to move their merchandise. So when you see that happening, it is a testimony that business is continuing the way it should be continuing.
All right.
That shipping lines are not afraid to bring their vessels to dock at the port of Mombasa and discharge cargo and take exports out of this region.
All right.
Yes.
And Ambassador, what way forward, especially what is in the horizon for the business community as we transition through this process?
The business community, as you know, Kenya is a medium income economy. And therefore, given the regional structure of regional integration, we have a key role in driving the economies of East Africa and ensuring that we have an enabling environment for everybody to operate effectively and safely.
All right.
That way, then the economies grow. And so long as the economy is growing, the way now Kenya is, if you look at Kenya today and 10 years ago, Kenyans have taken a very strong stand. They want to continue generating wealth, doing their work, and let the others play their role, because each party has a role. That's why we have economic pillar, then we have political pillar,
Sure.
and the judiciary. And therefore, that is called being a civilized community. So long as you follow the law, then you are all right. You will expect the neighboring countries are telling us, our own partners within the region, that this time we are doing the right thing, and everybody is seeing a peaceful operating environment at the end of the day.
Finally, Ambassador, are business prospects looking up as we speak, or is it still a jittery kind of environment?
That was just the last week, right? But now everybody is, as we hear from the freight forwarders of East Africa, we are moving on.
All right.
And people are actually crossing the border. Cross-border crossing is okay. Other people want to come into Kenya, do business. Kenyans want to go out. And therefore, it's now back to normal.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. John Mathenge, the Executive Director of FIAFA, and Ambassador Kelly Kilu, representing the East Africa Business Council, just sharing with us some insights. Business community remains quite resilient, and they look forward to better days ahead. We're going to take a quick break. That's the business update with Mia Begina. Kisa Wandera is still having a lot more coming up on the political front after this break.
This is KTN News.